Okay, well, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Salamat pagi, salamat patang, salamat malam to all of my followers dito po sa programa natin na NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. Once again, today it's Saturday, August 16. I would like to welcome each and every one of you, especially mga kababayan ko, countrymen ko po dito sa Malaysia. Be it in West Malaysia or be it in Sabah is Malaysia and very specific dito po sa o dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu. Si Nico Fabian nandito ngayon sa West Malaysia or sa Kuala Lumpur, and of course this time around I will be giving you some political news, the activities, political activities being carried out or mga hot issues in the Philippines, and it is through this program, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, that you will be able to have a picture. You won't be blared of what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas, especially hot issues, when we talk about politics in the Philippines. And of course, to start with, diretso na tayo po. Diretso na tayo. Overseas Filipino workers, be it sa ibang parte sa mundo, elsewhere po, outside the Philippines, I would like to say all the best sa inyong lahat, and I hope you're starting today or the Saturday. Today is weekend holiday na po for 2 days, and we are going to have a rest day po, Saturday and Sunday. Sana lang po you make full use of this weekend holidays natin. Alright, start na tayo po sa programa natin. First thing and foremost, I would like to inform my followers dito po sa NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, that on Tuesday, next week, August 19, the most awaited investigation of probe will going to start dyan po sa Senado, dyan po sa House of the Senate in the Philippines po. And it will focus on the flood control projects in the Philippines, of which no less than President Ferdinand Marcos has repeatedly and mentioned during the State of the Nation address, his fourth State of the Nation address or so last month, that he confirmed that there is anomalies, hanky-panky, when it comes to the flood mitigation or flood control programs or projects in the Philippines. And of course, the mainstream media in the Philippines started talking about this thing, and a lot of Filipinos now are looking forward for the Senate, especially the Blue Ribbon Committee being chaired by neophyte senator, our idol, or my idol, I would say my idol, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, who is now heading the Blue Ribbon Committee po. Now, he will be investigating, and knowing his caliber, knowing his caliber po, I think it will be very interesting po. And it is through his investigation that we will see po kung sino-sino, who are the people involved. As what the President said, the President Bongbong Marcos said, he mentioned about ghost projects, 1, uncompleted projects, 2, people in the government, top officials in the government po, asking for SOP, too high. Some are asking 30%, 40%. We just imagine po, paano na ang project po kung makingi pa ang mga allegedly, reportedly, mga lawmakers, congressmen allegedly involved in this development projects or flood control projects po. Yet, it has a lot of problems hanggang ngayon po. Some were not completed, some already paid but not functional, and some after a few months of completion, it collapsed. For example, the bridge. No? There is one bridge in the Philippines collapsed po after it was inaugurated po. After a few weeks, it collapsed po. And now, a lot of criticism, both from the government and the private sector po, are talking about these projects which uncompleted, far from the specifications, no? And the amount is too high. Yun po. Yun ang problema sa atin po ngayon sa Pilipinas. But anyway, to start with, let me give you I picked up this story, news article from the ABS-CBN. This is a mainstream media po. Both radio, TV, and newspaper po, dyan sa Pilipinas. And nandito po ang, what is this? Ang detalles. I would like to share with you the details of this news article, which is published today, August 16, in the Philippines po, in the Philippines. Let's allow me to share this news article sa inyong lahat po, sa inyong lahat. And of course, I'm referring to itong projects, questionable projects, since going back to what? 2017, 2018, 19, until today po, very questionable projects po, very questionable projects. And I believe na it's only but proper for me to share with you this news article po, dahil alam ko na ang mga Filipinos, especially the overseas Filipino workers, we work out, we went out and work outside our beloved country po for very obvious reasons po, because we want to give a better future to our loved ones, of which we left behind in the Philippines po, giving better future to them in terms of financing them po in their education, or maybe in other business aspects of this concerned overseas Filipino workers. But unfortunately po, the trust is given to the government. But what is happening now po, our lawmakers reportedly po, we wait until the result of the investigation. Reportedly, they abuse the powers and misuse the allocated budget to them. See? So, what happens po? Nahirapan ang mga Filipinos po. The standard of living of the Filipinos continue to dive. Instead, it has to go up po, And of course, we must not forget the overseas Filipino workers, be it in Malaysia, be it in Europe, be it in other parts of the world po, Directly, indirectly, they are helping the country through their remittances, financial remittances, monthly po, weekly, yearly, and so forth and so on. Kaya nga po, because of the abuse of power, corruption from the lawmakers and government officials, not all, let me make it very clear, not all. There's still a lot of Filipinos in the public service that they are doing their job properly. But unfortunately, because of this a few of them po, our lives has been affected. And it's about time, I'm very happy to hear that our president, no less than our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, during his last month, he openly made it very clear po that he wants a full stop on this foolishness, on this corruption activities po carried out dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang mga government servants natin, as well as itong top government officials natin po. So, let me share you this news article po. So, at this, you will have an idea of what is happening. Tingnan natin po. Hanap po na tayo yon na news. Nandito na yung kanina. But anyway, give me 1 or 2. Okay, saan na yan po? Sandali. Okay. Alright. Sandali. ABS-CBN. Hanap tayo ang ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN News. And nandito po. Let me share with you this news article to start with. The heading or title of the news article is Lawmaker House Probe on Flood Control Projects to Focus on Initiatives, not Personalities. Alright? Nandito po. Listen carefully. Marinig kayo po ng mabuti po because this is a very important news. House Committee on Public Accounts Chairman and Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon on Saturday or today said their investigation into alleged anomalies in flood control projects will focus on initiatives, not personalities. We will be strict with the methodology. The method is to not focus on personalities, whether they are legislators, whether they are contractors. The method is to focus on the project at bid. So I don't think we have an indication. We have an indication that we will be partial to any party. Yan po sabi ni Representative Ridon. The lawmaker said that they are not looking at the cost and scale of flood control projects, but whether the funds were pocketed and the construction and materials were substandard. Ridon reiterated that the House will turn over the probe once there are indications implicating lawmakers in the alleged anomalous projects. Ridon said their probe may also look into campaign donations to lawmakers by contractors named by President Ferdinand Marcos. The lawmaker said the soon-to-be formed House Tri-Committee is just awaiting plenary approval from the resolution authorizing to conduct a joint inquiry. So they are forming this Tri-Com committee po in the House of Representatives. And if we remember, last year po, before during the 19th Congress, this Quadcom and Tri-Com po, how they conducted the investigation po is very biased. And we hope this time around, if they're going to conduct this investigation po, they will change their method or procedure or techniques in conducting the investigation. The Tri-Committee will compose of public accounts, public works, and good governance panels. We don't expect the Tri-Com probe to begin in the coming weeks. He also foresees that marathon hearing will be held due to the volume of projects. Expected yun po, no? Marathon. Ridon renewed his challenge to Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong to name names and show evidence to back his claim. We will still invite him to the Tri-Com, but we will require him to do under oath to disclose who are the people involved in these anomalies. Magalong has yet to respond to this new challenge by the lawmaker, but he earlier questioned why Congress will investigate the matter if lawmakers are supposedly the ones involved. The local official on Thursday said he is just consolidating the documents before he personally goes to the office of the president. Magalong also said he is ready to lead the probe and present evidence. on the part of the Senate, Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Senator Rodante Marcoleta said their investigation will start on August 19. Marcoleta said the Senate's inquiry will not only focus on questionable contractors, but also on the public officials who shamelessly profit from the flood control projects. So, ibig sabihin po, what I'm trying to tell you now, ang news natin po, both House of Congress, House of Representatives, that is the lower chamber, and the Senate of the Philippines, that is the upper chamber, they are going to conduct their own investigation po. Their own investigation on this anomalous, reportedly, allegedly anomalous activities being carried out both by some lawmakers, not all. Let me repeat it again. Not all lawmakers are corrupt. Mayroon pa rin tayo po mga good lawmakers dyan po sa lower house. And of course, on the other hand, the Senate of the Philippines will also be conducting their own investigation on this issue. Now, when we talk about the Senate, it has been announced already po by no less than neophyte senator, si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, that he will going to start his investigation on Tuesday, August 19. While the House of Representatives or the lower chamber, they are now finalizing the formation of the TRICOM po. Then they are going to start. But there are some confusing issues po. And hot issues lawmakers raised during this week po regarding the investigation on the flood control projects in the Philippines. No less than the majority leader of the House of Representatives or a lower chamber by the name of Representative Sandro Marcos. Congressman Sandro Marcos is the eldest son of the president, President Ferdinand Marcos. He himself questions and suggested that this investigation not only focusing on the flood control projects, questionable flood control projects, but also other development programs or projects po being implemented by the Marcos administration should be done by a private body, not by the House of Representatives. Why? Because, which I also agree. Why? Because po, there are speculations and unfortunately, a lot of people still believe that some of the lawmakers are involved in this hanky-panky abuse of power po, in awarding the projects. And these projects are not small projects po. Involves billions of money, billions of taxpayers' money po. Yet, nothing had happened. Nothing happened po until today. I'll give you an example po. And this has been out in the news in the Philippines po. One is the pump station in Tondo, Manila. The amount involved is 744 million plus pesos. And this project was awarded and implemented in 2019. Yet on 2022, or if I'm not mistaken, 2023, the authorities in the area in Manila, they refused to accept when the contractor hand over the project. Why? Because the local authorities in Manila, they said there are a lot of questions po. It is not functional. It's not functioning. So, they did not accept. But only to find out, just recently po, only to find out that the project, the contractor already received the full amount of 744 million plus pesos po, of which that is a very questionable. Even the retaining fee, maintenance fee, for maybe how many years po, no? Already paid to the contractor, which not supposed to be. And now they are estimating another 90 million pesos po for that particular project in Tondo, Manila, the pumping station in Tondo, Manila, which causing one of the factors that causes flash flood in Manila. They're asking another 90 million pesos po to rectify the problem and make the project functional. So this is one example po, glaring example. The other example that was raised by the local media as well as the social media dyan po sa Pilipinas is the Bagaan Bridge that collapsed just recently po. And it involves billions of pesos po. Billions of pesos. After being inaugurated, open to the public, then it collapsed. And other projects, flood control projects po. For example, in Bulacan, this is an issue now po dyan sa Manila, dyan po sa Pilipinas. Bakit? Ano nangyari po? So these are the one or two or three projects po. But if we go back to the announcement of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, he mentioned just recently that there are a total of 9,000 plus flood control projects in the Philippines po, and out of the 9,600 plus flood control projects, 6,021 are questionable. Just imagine po. And nationwide po, we spend a huge amount for the flood control projects dyan po sa Pilipinas for the past several years po. And yet, the Philippines is still suffering, still experiencing a acute flood flash problem po. Landslide, lahat na po. And no other than our newly elected senators po, like Senator Ping Lacson, is all out now doing his own investigation po. And he wants that people involved, people who are guilty, will be dealt accordingly, without fear or favors po. They should be punished according to the law. Maganda yun po. Sana po, the promises, the pledges made by President Bongbong Marcos last month during the State of the Nation address, he will turn his word into action po. So at least by doing so po, people will, although it's late already, much better late than never po. So people will believe him po. Sana lang po, there will be action already after the investigation po. And no less than the President already mentioned that the heads will be rolling. Regardless, they are part of the administration, Marcos administration, close friends of the President, relatives of the President po. He don't care po. For as long as it will be proven that these individuals, these lawmakers, these politicians are found guilty beyond reasonable doubts, then he said he will take action. According to the President, si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos po, narinig natin ang the past few days po. In the Philippines, we have he mentioned 15 contractors po. Only 15 contractors holding this trillion peso projects for nationwide. Only 15, you just imagine. on the 15th po. No? They are the ones who are being awarded over these development projects. And out of the 15, the President already mentioned, very notorious po, may 5. And one of the five po, very clear. One of the 5 po, ang involved dyan po is one of the senior or top officials of the House of Representatives. But anyway, unless proven by the court beyond reasonable doubt, and based on the, sabihin natin, investigations, both from the House of Representatives, from the Senate, and hopefully there will be a private body who will do the investigation po. Sana po, these people, if they are lawmakers po, they will be removed from the post as a congressman or even as a senator, or as a mayor, as a governor po. They should be stripped of their positions po and barred them from holding any public position po now and in the future. Totally ban them. They will not be allowed to contest in any elections, public elections po for public service position po because of an abuse of power po. Accountability is very important. Yan po. That is the issue. Galit na galit ang mga tao. Hindi lang ang mga Filipinos dyan po sa Pilipinas, but we also, overseas Filipino workers, Filipinos who are in Malaysia, Filipinos who are in Sabah, specifically in Kota Kinabalu, and overseas Filipino workers outside the country, working in the United States of America, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Japan, elsewhere po. We are not happy with what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas. And we are hoping that the President, Bongbong Marcos, will respect this phrase, actions speak louder than words. Tama na po. I think if the President would want, because he is left with the 3 more years po, the President term is 6 years. So he completed his 3 years and now left with another 3 years. The last 3 years of the President. If he wants to leave a good legacy when he steps down on 2028 po, I think it's about time for him now to turn his words into action. He's one president po. I'm sorry to say this po, but based on comments, observations, opinions from several Filipinos po, karamihan, they are saying that the President Bongbong Marcos is good only in making pledges, in making promises, but there is no action. I hope this time around po, he meant when he said, I want this thing to stop and people will be accountable. They have to pay for the wrongdoings or abuse of power they did. Corruption po. Kasi kawawa daw po ang mga Filipino. And this, although it's a little bit late, but it's better late than never po, that the President has realized. But there is only one thing also po. The Filipinos in Malaysia, particularly in Sabah, we are looking at, it's very easy to pinpoint or to focus the investigation. First thing first po, like we talk about, if we want to go deeper on the involvement of this congressmen or members of the House of Representatives, first thing first, look at the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And I'm referring to Representative Martin Romualdez. Martin Romualdez is the first cousin of President Bongbong Marcos. And a lot of issues already about Speaker Martin Romualdez. So I think the President, Bongbong Marcos, if he's really sincere in doing his making a reality, his pledges po, I think the first thing to investigate is the Speaker, Speaker Martin Romualdez. I totally agree with the son of President Bongbong Marcos, Congressman Sandro Marcos, when he mentioned this week that when he suggested that the investigation or the probe should be carried out by a third party, a private body po, not an investigation from the Congress, neither from the senators or from the Senate po. Because there are some projects, although we are not saying lahat mga projects po, but there are quite a number of projects po na congressmen are involved. Involved in the sense that they own the company, the contractor. Their relatives, immediate families, are owners of these companies who were awarded with the big projects po in the Philippines. And they have a very strong connections in the government po. I don't think so po. These contractors will be daring enough to abuse or to do hanky-panky po, no? And pay big SOP, SOP to the lawmakers or to the big bosses po, if they don't have the backup from the higher ups. Ganon yan po. Sa Baguio po, that's another place that the president should should look into it. All right. Another news article that I would like to share with you now po, ito po. Let me share this news article sa inyo. ABS-CBN. All right. Okay, news. ABS-CBN news. And saan na yan? Hold on let me look for this news first. Sandali lang po. We are talking about Marcoleta, Senator Marcoleta po, wherein he himself said it won't be easy. It will not be an easy task for him to conduct this investigation po sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. But he said that he will do his best, and as a very responsible senator, he will do his level best without fear or favors po. Kung sino man may kasalanan, then they have to face the final judgment. The final judgment. Let's see. Sandali po. Okay, maganda ito. This is okay, tingnan natin. Hold on, So, kumusta kayo po? Ang mga kababayan ko po sa Pilipinas, dyan po sa Sabah, especially in Kota Kinabalu. I already miss Kota Kinabalu. I'm here now in, sabi natin, West Malaysia. And if you notice, the past few days, I have been giving you some special reports on places of interest dito po sa West Malaysia, especially in Kuala Lumpur. Nandito po, let me share with you this news article about Senator Marcoleta. The heading of the news article is Marcoleta acknowledges investigation into flood control projects challenging. Alright? First-term Senator Rodante Marcoleta, chairperson of this Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, acknowledged today or Saturday that the probing alleged failures and corruption in flood control projects will be difficult. He is set to start investigation into the alleged anomalies in flood control projects on Tuesday, August 19 at 10 a.m. at the Senate Session Hall. In a release, Marcoleta said the inquiry will be daunting and challenging as it will seek to untangle the web of corruption with the public works system. It will be really difficult because of the scale of the problem there, sabi ni Marcoleta. But Marcoleta believes finding the truth is possible as long as the Filipino people will cooperate to identify allegedly corrupt officials. The Philippine government's crackdown on erring officials behind the supposed faulty flood control projects began after parts of the country was recently drenched in floodwaters after a series of typhoons. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vowed to go after these responsible for failed flood control programs, even if they are his allies. Earlier, he released a list of 15 contractors that cornered 20% of the 545 billion pesos budget for flood control projects that had been undertaken since the start of his term in 2022. Marcoleta said the Senate's inquiry will not only focus on questionable contractors, but also on public officials whom he said shamelessly profit from the flood control. He said the profiteering affects the quality of the project. Correct yan po. Just tell us how much you give government officials so you will not be grilled, sabi ni Marcoleta. The senator also called on the public to help in the investigation, though he noted that he is being careful in assessing the reports that his office receives. You have to screen and vet everything because they may be untrue. They may have been made with AI. Yon po ang sabi ni Senator Dante Marcoleta. Alright, let's listen a footage muna po. A footage po which I got it from the mainstream media in Manila, and nandito po ang news report.
President Marcos will summon St. Timothy Construction to explain why a flood control structure in Bulacan remains incomplete.
Hold on, medyo tayo.
President Marcos will summon St. Timothy Construction to explain why a flood control structure in Bulacan remains incomplete over 2 years since its expected completion date. Marcos visited the river protection structure along Barangay Bulusan in Kalumpit, Bulacan, following complaints that the 96 billion peso project remains unfinished and the foundation seems to be substandard. The president called out the contractor, demanding answers. St. Timothy Construction ranked third in the list of contractors that got the most number of flood control projects from the Department of Public Works and Highways in the last 3 years. Other officials, including the mayor of Iloilo City, have also flagged the company's projects as either incomplete or poorly built. ABS-CBN News has been repeatedly trying to get the side of Pacifico Discaya, one of the owners of St. Timothy, but he has yet to issue a statement.
Sinong kumpanya? St. Timothy. St. Timothy to. St. Timothy ang kontratista dito. Kaya titignan natin pasagutin natin kung bakit ganito ginawa nila. Mas mabuti pa, dapat mga president ito pakita nila gano'ng kahirap ang buhay na binigay nila sa mga kababayan natin. Di ba, kaya gagawin namin ngayon na naalaman na namin. Mabuti nga yung website nandyan at marami nang nagsusunod.
Yan po, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos during a media interview po this morning dyan po sa Manila, in Manila. So, alright, mayroon pa tayo dito isang footage po with I want to share with you. And, hold on, And, okay, sandali po. And, this footage, hold on for a while. And, alright, okay. And this is it. Nandito na po. I will share with you this footage so you will have an idea about the intention of Senator Dante Marcoleta in conducting the probe. Here's another news coming from Billionario News dyan po sa Pilipinas. Please listen to this news article.
Answers as it leads an investigation next week into alleged irregularities in the flood control projects. Hannity has this report.
Open fire as the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, chaired by Senator Rodante Marcoleta, prepares to open its investigation on flood control anomalies next week. In an interview, he admits the task is daunting, but promises to expose how officials and contractors profit while communities suffer from substandard projects. Senator Ping Lacson is also jumping in. On social media, he earlier announced he's set to deliver his first privileged speech next week to support the president's call to expose so-called ghost and substandard flood control projects. Flood control seemed to be a favorite insertion in the national budget. BNC earlier got hold of a document surfacing hundreds of billions worth of insertions in the 2025 budget. Majority of the insertions were allegedly allotted to DPWH infrastructures. It was then announced by the president himself that the failed projects should be investigated and that those involved should be held accountable. The Senate isn't also just focusing on flood control. Marcoleta opened fire too on online gambling earlier this week, questioning the ownership of companies who may be involved in proliferation of online sugal. One of them is AB Leisure Exponent Incorporated, which he said runs well-known platforms like DG+. He then said the company sponsored comedian Vice Ganda's concert recently. The comedian went viral for her remarks on the senator.
Nagpapatawa po siya. Nakita niya yung dating Senator Grace po na nagtatawa. Natawa po at siguro naging successful siya. Napatawa niya si Senator Grace po. Bigla ba niya naman sinabi, tingnan niyo yung mukha ni Marcoleta kung matatawa kayo. Napakawalang iya nung tao na yun, Mr. Chair. Ayaw ko na pong patusin siya.
Marcoleta said such companies use celebrities to promote their brands while affecting ordinary Filipinos. He called on the Bangko Sentral to act on e-wallets used for gambling.
I believe, Mr. Chair, the BSP should issue a suspension order to e-wallet platforms to deny links to all these online game platforms para wala na pag-uusapan.
Marcoleta's Blue Ribbon hearing formally opens on August 19. Hannity, Billionario News Channel.
Okay, well, thank you very much from Billionaire News. And yun po ang statement made by no other than Senator Marcoleta, Rodante Marcoleta. Okay, at this point in time, I would like to shout out muna tayo kay Marilu Pentojo, is also watching itong programa natin NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, together with Haji Lajid Jaji is watching also. And si Haji, if I'm not mistaken, is from Tawi-Tawi po. Our friends dyan po, si Kangkang dyan sa Cebu, dyan sa Kota Kinabalu, si Ruben Castillo, si Ard dyan po sa Sandakan, and of course sa Zamboanga City, sila Joseph Sosobrado, April Boy Reyno, and of course our friends dyan po sa iba-ibang nasyon. I would like to say I hope everything is running smoothly sa buhay ninyo po, and you will enjoy, or you're enjoying itong Saturday, Sunday holidays natin. So at least po, maskin na paano, no? Siguro you already heard ang some very important news dyan po sa Pilipinas regarding ang corruption problems natin, regarding ang flash flood problems sa Pilipinas, not only in Manila but many areas in the Philippines po. And we hope with this investigation, no? By Tuesday na yan po, August 19, the Blue Ribbon Committee probe or investigation spearheaded by Senator Dante Marcoleta. He's a lawyer and he has been a veteran congressman also po, and this time first a termer sa Senado po, no? And heading the Blue Ribbon Committee, na it will be very exciting to monitor on August 19 on Tuesday po at 10 a.m. Don't worry, si Nico, ang NikTok, the real talk with Nico po, I will make sure that you will be properly informed po. Pwede lang nga, if I can do it live, then I'll do it live po. Kung hindi, then I will make sure that you will get the news that you really deserve. I might not be the first one to break the news, but definitely you will get the news po. So siguro hanggang dito na lang po muna sa programa natin na NikTok, the real talk with Nico. And shoutout muna tayo kay Michael Fabian, who is also watching ang NikTok, the real talk with Nico dito po sa Kuala Lumpur, particularly dito po sa Putrajaya. So, with this, once again, Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. I hope masking paano po I managed to entertain you, I managed to give you what you deserve when it comes to latest happenings dyan po sa Pilipinas. And before concluding this program natin na August 16, I just want to inform ang mga kaibigan natin, mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas po, if you intend to come here to Malaysia for a holiday or maybe to work here po, make sure that you are properly documented. For holiday makers, sa mga turista natin po, not only in the Philippines, but other neighboring countries po, don't be surprised when you come to Malaysia, particularly dito po, or anywhere of the 40 states in Malaysia po, you will see the hoisting of the Malaysian flag everywhere you go po, be it in government buildings, commercial establishments, and even residential houses po, you can see hoisting of the Malaysian flag. Dahil po, ang Malaysia will be celebrating its Independence Day on August 31st or end of this month po. So with this, again, I would like to say Malaysia, sama the Philippines. God bless us all. And I see you in my next episode. Bye.